Yeah, reporter Shannon Smith takes us inside an earthquake simulator to see how our activity this morning measures up to stronger tremors. Shannon?
Well, guys, after today, many of us don't need a simulator to see what an earthquake feels like. The one that hit East Tennessee didn't do much damage, but stronger ones could do a lot of harm. When you walk into the upside-down building that is WonderWorks in Pigeon Forge, you'll find the Earthquake Cafe.
Hi y'all, and welcome to Quake Cafe.
It lets you experience an earthquake as if you were out to dinner and suddenly everything started rumbling.
You will experience an earthquake measuring 6.0 on the Richter scale.
The whole room starts shaking. Plates and lights rattle, menus fall on the floor. You have to hold onto the table to keep your balance.
It's really surprising what the experience is like.
The simulator is a little stronger than the earthquake felt across East Tennessee. Earthquakes that clock in at low numbers on the Richter scale are barely felt, but it's when you get up to 7 or above, that's where the catastrophic damage hits. Tennessee's quake rang in at a 4.4, enough to freak you out, but no cause for alarm.
Well, you never think it's going to happen right here in your hometown or right here in your backyard.
Karenza Archer with WonderWorks says the earthquake simulator becomes more popular after a big earthquake happens anywhere in the world.
People are always interested in experiencing something that they're hearing about, and it should be an opportunity to be able to do just that.
Well, we weren't alone today. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, there was also an earthquake in Louisville. It was a small one with a 1.8 magnitude.